Well, Tuesday, the special primary election to fill former Congressman Devin Nunes' seat will take place. Again, here's the list of candidates. The 22nd Congressional District has now gone without representation on Capitol Hill for 3 months following Nunes' departure to become CEO for former President Donald Trump's new social platform. Well, it's the first election of the midterm cycle here in Fresno County, one of the first in the state as well. Fresno County Clerk James Coos joining me now because he's going to be a very busy man on Tuesday. First things first here, when we look at some of the numbers that have already come in for this special election for Congressional District 22, what are we seeing?
Well, thank you for having me in today, Alexon. It's a good start for a special election. We've had over 30,000 voters either return their vote by mail ballot or come into one of our vote centers to vote in person.
How many voters in this district then?
There are 258,000 plus a little bit of change of registered voters in the Congressional District 22.
All right, I'm not a math whiz, so I'm not going to come up with percentages there. But what are you expecting when it comes to actually Tuesday, people coming in to vote, either vote centers or downtown?
So I think we're going to continue to see the trend that we're seeing right now, which is a good turnout for a special election. And I'm being a little cagey there. We realize that special elections in California, or just in general across the country, oftentimes have lower turnouts.
Right.
This one, really short notice, folks aren't that, I don't want to say excited, because people are actually really excited about this election, but they're just not really tied into it yet. There's not any big ad campaigns, very few. There's signs out there, I've seen those, but there's not really a lot that's got
not a lot of energy generated around. Okay.
Yes.
You know, and I want to get to this because obviously there could be a winner Tuesday or next week at some point, right? 50 plus 1 if that happens. If that does happen, how soon could it be certified, not only in Fresno County, but in the state of California, where that person could get to work?
So we'll have a really good idea next Tuesday by the end of the day.
Yeah.
But you're right, it's going to continue going on. The state has required that Fresno County complete our certification of our county results by February 14th, 9 days after Election Day. And we'll turn our certified results into the county, or the state Secretary of State, along with Tulare County. And the Secretary of State has to combine the two of those. Now, an interested person could look at our results as we go along and Tulare's and have a really good idea of where we are. But the official results will come from the state somewhere on the 14th or 15th.
All right, 14th or 15th of
April.
April, not February. Okay. I just want to get this in as well. Top two, obviously, if it's not 50 plus 1, top two will go to that June primary, lumped in with the rest of the June primary. But how much did this end up costing Fresno County?
So we won't know how much total for a while. We're currently estimating between $600,000 and $750,000.
That's a lot.
There's this is half the county, remember, 258,000 voters out of 502,000, so it's actually a little more than half the county.
Right.
We've never done a special election this size under the current Voters' Choice Act, so we do have to take some projections in.
You know, while I have you here, you know, Bob Whalen is on our panel this week, and there was a lot of confusion as he was running for judge on the Fresno County Superior Court bench. And first he was on the ballot, then Governor Newsom's office contacted you and said he couldn't be on the ballot. And now he's on the ballot. So clear up some of the confusion with that.
Well, first, I should say the governor's office never said he couldn't be on there. The governor's office called to say that they thought we had made a mistake by including that race on our ballot for this year. Okay. The judge's position was going to be on the ballot in June, scheduled to be there, but then we had a vacancy. The judge retired. And I believe that we made a clerical error, and that clerical error, we should have pulled back that vacancy for the future.
Okay.
But once we made that error and left it on, Bob Whalen did actually go through the process to become a certified candidate. He is and will be on the ballot. I believe that our it would be worse for the voters of Fresno County to withdraw that, not have that opportunity to vote on a position, a contest that has begun, does have candidates.
Right.
And so we're going to move forward with that.
All right, James Coos, Fresno County Clerk, appreciate the time. Busy man on April the 5th.
April the 5th.
All right.
Thank you, Allison.
Meantime, some new developments with one of the candidates in the special election. Republican Elizabeth Heng has now decided against a run for Congressional District 13. A month ago on this very show, Heng revealed she did file for CD13 and would be a candidate in the special election as well. So this week she dropped out of CD13, telling me it's just too difficult to run two campaigns. So there is one candidate that is going to continue to run two campaigns. That's a Democrat and Marine veteran, Eric Garcia. Good to have you here on Sunday Morning Matters. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for having me.
Well, so I want to go back to 2020 a little bit.
Okay.
You were in that primary for
Yes.
CD22 as well.
Correct.
You came in 5th. Why do you feel this time is different for you?
Well, at that time, I was registered as an independent, and that's what I ran in, because when I was in the military, we really didn't get into politics. That was kind of one of those topics you don't really get, a lot of people like to get heated in that topic, so we just avoided it in the military. So I looked at both parties, and I'm like, I see the good and the bad with both. So I wanted to go independent just because I wanted to be myself and not really be affiliated with a party or have any kind of loyalties above the people, and that's who I wanted to represent. But as everyone knows, that didn't turn out so well. Independents, no one contacted me. They didn't want any interviews. They didn't want nothing. It's like I didn't exist. So I saw it as an opportunity, like you have to pick a side. And I went with the Democratic Party because it most aligns with my philosophy and my beliefs as a person.
Do you see yourself more as a blue dog Democrat or a progressive?
I would say I'm progressive.
Okay, so you heard about the water issue this week, obviously, from Tom Birmingham. Where do you stand on that?
I think it's a step in the right direction, but we need to take more aggressive tactics, like adding desalination plants to the coast so we can have water for the people to drink, and the water we get naturally we can allocate towards farmland. A couple years back, my family had to dig a new well. They have some property out in Selma, and if they didn't dig that well, they wouldn't have got any ditch allocation water, so the farm would have dried up and it would have been gone. Generations of hard work just down the drain if we didn't invest in that well. And so many people couldn't have done that. And I've just seen fields that I used to run in and play in just gone. There's just empty lots of land, most likely because they didn't have the water when the droughts really hit.
You know, you're a veteran, and we thank you for your service. And I'm wondering, you know, this position, if you do win on Tuesday, or if you're in the top two and you go to the June primary, I'm wondering, do you feel like you're going to be able to make an impact?
Well, to me, a lot of people say 6 months isn't a lot, but that is a lot of time to me. I think I can highlight some of these issues that have been neglected in the valley that most people don't even notice or even care about.
Which are?
Which are climate change. So I've lived in the valley my entire life except for when I was in the military. And never once when I was a child do I remember the skies just being covered in ash and smoke and the sun being literally blotted out from these wildfires that are just getting bigger and bigger each year we continue to go. And that people were just going about their normal lives, and like they were outside eating when there was just ash falling on them outside when the pandemic first hit because they couldn't eat indoors. And it's like, how do you just accept that as normal? I can't accept that as normal.
I'll finish with this. If you don't do so well in Tuesday's primary, does that change your mind about what happens in June for the new District 22?
It does not, because there's new boundaries. I want to say about 5 cities that are in the 21st district I actually lived and grew up in. I have families in most of the cities in that district. That is like, I graduated from a high school within the district. That's my hometown. It's a different demographic, so I'm not going to let one election, you know, change my mind on another one when there's completely different playing fields. So I always go into everything 100%, and it's not really going to change how I'm going to perform in that election, regardless of how this one goes, good or bad.
All right, Eric Garcia, running in the special election on Tuesday. Appreciate the time.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, still to come here, we're going to talk with another veteran running in the special election as well, Matt Stoll, a Republican who does have the advantage in at least in one category among the field. We'll talk about it next.